Hey there, Mitch Wilder here. A couple years ago, I recorded a video that was really popular, pretty popular. It was about how to target business owners with Facebook ads. Now, over the past few years, there have been a ton of changes to Facebook ads, as you're probably aware, many of which were related to the iOS update. I'll probably shoot another video talking about the iOS update, what that was, what Apple was trying to do, why it happened, etc. But in this video, we're going to do a recap, a 2022 version, and then we're going to early in 2023 do another video to make sure that this is updated because, as we know, Facebook and Instagram are making changes all the time. Since the last video, Facebook as a corporation essentially has ceased to exist. They became Meta, which is the parent company for Facebook and Instagram. And what's interesting is when it comes to these platforms and using them for paid advertising, a lot of people have said, "Oh, we're losing targeting options. We're losing a lot of, Facebook is taking away several audience targeting options." But if you look at my last video from a few years ago about how we were targeting business owners, then we had three primary ways that we were targeting business owners. Now, in what I'm about to share with you, you're going to see six ways that we're currently targeting business owners on the Facebook and Instagram platforms. These are the Facebook and Instagram platform is a fantastic platform to target business owners on. Currently second only, in my opinion, at least, to the YouTube ad platform, which I'll have some videos, coming on this topic of how to find business owners on the YouTube ad platform as well, that we have scheduled here for the near future. But I'm going to show you six different ways that we're currently using Facebook ads to target business owners. Now, a lot of people think about this and they're like, well, shouldn't I be targeting business owners on LinkedIn, right? Isn't LinkedIn the better platform for business owners? And the fact is that it's not. It's still not. And the reason is because people are not in the behavior of engaging on LinkedIn as frequently as they are on Facebook. Okay. So business owners are on Facebook and Instagram, not always for business purposes, mind you, but they're on those platforms. Many people are visiting them daily, multiple times a day. Facebook has kind of gone back to some of its roots and is really making the platform really sticky, trying to keep people on there as long as possible. And while they have lost some of their user base, there's still billions of people visiting the platform on a daily basis. And if you want to target business owners, then again, it is still one of the top platforms, miles ahead of LinkedIn. Okay. So in this video, I'm going to dive in. Let's get right into the strategies. I'm going to show you six of the strategies that we're using right now to find business owners with Facebook ads. So let's kind of put me off to the side here. I've just got this little sheet here to serve as a guide. So the first one is behaviors. So let's jump over to the ad manager in our audiences section. And let me show you what I mean by targeting business owners by behaviors. So I'm going to make me a little bit smaller. There we go. Don't want to be in the way. So when you're setting up your targeting, one thing I'll say, and this really applies to pretty much all of what we're going to talk about today with targeting business owners. When I am targeting business owners, I typically change my lower age bracket to 25. That's still something that I'm in the practice of doing. And when I'm selecting my location, now this would apply to anybody, here in the United States, but just apply this to wherever you're at. So if you're in Europe or Australia, apply the same setting. I would select the location. So the country that I'm trying to target business owners in, or multiple countries. And you'll notice that the default is people living in or recently in this location. Now, with this setting, this is really important to change. We want to have people living in this location. That's who we're looking for. So as far as default settings go and what I'm using for, for audience targeting, when I'm targeting business owners, I'm always using people living in this location. And I'm always changing my lower age gap to 25. and I'm typically leaving gender at all. A lot of people will say, well, my customer avatar is, men that are business owners or women that are business owners. I try to avoid that at all costs, especially when I'm targeting business owners, unless there was a very, very specific reason to do so. And then I'm going to put in the language. So those are kind of the default settings. Those will apply to everything that we're doing here as we're targeting business owners. And then we're going to go here to the detailed targeting. So when I talked about behaviors, the first one we're going to look for, I'm just going to type in small business owners. Okay. And you're going to see one here that is behaviors. And I'm just going to check small business owners. Okay. And we see that this is a nice audience here. We've got 4 to 5 million people in this audience. And this is right, like we're looking for audiences this size. Okay. A lot of people, when they talk about targeting and targeting business owners, they're trying to go small and narrow. That is not how this platform works. So when we're running ads on the Facebook and Instagram platform, which this is the audience targeting for both, we really want to focus on broad audiences of like a small audience on this platform is 1 to 3 million people. I like to be as large as possible for an audience. I want to be in the 4 to 5 million range. Some people say that the sweet spot is like 3 million. But like this is a nice audience size. So I really like this one. So for the first targeting for business owners, this would be my behavior based targeting of how we would be targeting business owners. And if you want to see how do we know who this is, it's basically, if I can get this to stick here, it's people who are listing themselves as small business owners or own small business pages on Facebook. And that's based on how they're interacting with the Facebook ad platform, is how they're discerning that, right? So in the United States, we've got 4 to 5 million people who fit that criteria. So that's our first strategy here is behaviors. Okay, that's the first one. That usually works very well, and it's a great starting point if you're looking to target business owners. Now, the second one is business page admins. So again, we're going to go back here to the audience. Let's remove that. If you wanted to just use just that one, which you should, you could have just saved the audience. You could have put a name up here and just saved it, and then you'd have had, your first audience for business owners. But just for the sake of simplicity, we're just going to kind of go through and just keep using this section. So we're looking for Facebook business page admins. This is one of the ones that we were using before. Now, you can use Facebook page admins or business page admins. Both of these are fine. I tend to use business page admins. And again, that puts us in that sweet spot of, 2 to 3 million people. So again, this is a really nice size audience. We want to keep it broad. That's what we're looking to do. And so for my next audience, if I were using, and this is one of the ones I still frequently use, this is true and tested, not likely to be an audience targeting feature that goes away. The two that I've shown you so far. So these are really foundational ones. So business page admins, this would be my next audience of how we would target business owners. Okay. So you could save this one, name it, save it. And that gives us the two strategies so far. Now let's look at interests. Okay. This one can get a little bit more broad. And so what you can do is you can come in here and say, okay, what are things that business owners are interested in? So, you could spend a little bit of time on this. You could say, business owners are interested in hiring. Let's see what happens if I put hiring, right? So business owners are interested in hiring. Business owners are interested in advertising. And again, we want to keep these kind of broad. Interest, advertising, marketing. Okay. Business owners are interested in employee benefits. Okay. Okay. Business owners are interested in type in business. Okay, business to business, business finance, small business, right? All of these are interests. And essentially, when I start doing things like this, where I'm really advertising based on interests, the first thing that I'll do is I will make um, I'll make kind of a master list of interest. And so I'll start with just my general interests like we've done here. And in this case, I'm making a master list. But then when I actually advertise to these folks, in that case, that's where I'm breaking it out and I'm taking one or two of these audiences at a time and I'm testing them to see, as I'm trying to reach business owners, how is this audience working? Is this audience getting me the results I desire? And again, we want to keep that broad. Okay, we don't want to have an audience targeting strategy like this one right here that is too narrow with only a few thousand or tens of thousands of people in it. With these audiences, we're okay if they're hundreds of thousands of people, but again, I want to see hundreds of thousands or millions of people in these audiences. And I typically have a much more specific way that I'll run a different type of ad to these types of audiences. But the first thing I'm doing when I'm using this strategy is I'm basically making a master list, and then I'm going to come back and I'm going to, look at the ones and say, okay, I think these are the best. So the first thing I do is I just kind of put some general ideas down. Might just be keywords, right? Like small business, like advertising. And then I might start looking at some publications, right? So I might look at like Entrepreneur Magazine. So that's one that's been removed. So I might start looking at publications and see if I can find publications or websites that are listed here. And I might also start looking at authority sources of people who would be followed by business owners, right? So Kevin Harrington might be one. If we look at entrepreneur, young entrepreneurs, I don't like any of those. Once I have a few, what I'll start to do is I'll start to click on this suggestions tab, and we see because of having jobs hiring now, that's throwing off our search results. So let's get rid of that one. Let's see, marketing. Okay, that's an interest. So let's find that one. Robert Kiyosaki, right? Rich Dad Poor Dad author. Many business owners have read that. So he might be one that we want to follow. We already talked about small business owners as a behavior. People following advertising agencies, that might be another good one. Let's see. Business page admin. So some of these, it's already suggesting ones that we've talked about. People interested in social media, right? So we can kind of see, how this works when we're creating our master list. And you see that with our master list, this is huge, right? We're looking at hundreds of millions of people. And when we're doing a master list, that's actually what we want. So we want to have everybody in there. And what the master list tells us is when we find our audiences of business owners, that tells us about how big our market actually is. So when I start getting into using interests for audience targeting, in that case, what I'm doing is I'm getting I'm building a master list of everything, which is also telling me how big my potential market is. And then I start breaking those audiences out. Okay. So that's our third strategy, which is using business-based interests as a targeting option. That's one that's going to take you a little bit more time. And there's some very specific ways that you want to use that. But so far we've got 3 of our 6. Now the next one's one of my favorites. You're going to tend to have smaller audiences here. Again, some different advertising strategies that I use with this, but that's job title. And so when we're searching for job title, it's very similar to the way that we do our detailed targeting. So let's get rid of all of these here. Okay. And when we do job title, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do browse, And I'm going to go demographics, and I can't get this to scroll. All right, so we're just going to type it in. Sometimes what will happen is you can click browse and get it to scroll down, but we're obviously having a little glitch with the scrolling here. So let's just do, CEO. Job title. Nope. There. And this is one of the ones Facebook is kind of, we're seeing them slowly remove some job titles. I'll show you how it's a job title here. So, okay, so here's one that's very specific, orthodontist small business owner. And this is people who are listing that on their Facebook profile. So it's like, where are you employed or what do you do? That's what they've listed it as, right? And you can see that it's really, really small, 3,000 to 4,000, okay? But it'll have next to it job title, okay? And so let's put that one in as an example. Let's put business owner. See if we can find a job title there. Let's maybe put self-employed entrepreneur. That's a good one. Self-employed contractor. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. Once I have one or two of these in here, I'll start now again looking for suggestions. So here's another one. We were looking for CEOs before, owner and CEO. It's as you have more job titles in here, what it's going to show you is it's going to show you more recommended job titles. Now, when you're using the job title targeting, you'll notice that most of these are quite small, right? So only a few thousand. You don't want to advertise to a market that small by itself. So you may want to group all of these together into their own kind of a job title master list and try to get it from, at least 500,000, but ideally, again, more like 1 to 5 million people. Okay. So at this point, once you get one or two that meet your job title or are close, you can start looking for the suggestions, and then you can just start building up this list with the suggestions here. So this is a great way to target business owners as well. Like I said, this is one of my favorites because these people have listed this is what I'm doing for a living right on their Facebook profile. Okay, co-founders are fine in my opinion. So you can see we've added a few, but we're still only at 180 to 200,000 people. I'd like to see that bigger. I want to see it be 500,000 to at least 1 million, but I'd want to try to build it up to like 3 to 5 million if I possibly could, with different ways that self-employed people or business owners would list themselves. Okay. So that is how we would do it by job title. And now let's get into some of the advanced strategies. So what is targeting by engagement with a business ad? So this is a really advanced strategy, but it's something that works very well. So if I go to my personal Mitch Wilder Facebook page that I run a lot of my ads from, you'll notice if you scroll down that I have an old post that just looks like a native post that I put that has some content. And it's content that's only going to be appealing to business owners. Okay, if anybody else sees this, you're going to be like, what is this? This is not what I want. And so what I'm doing is I'm creating a content post that is topically specific to something that is only going to be appealing to a business owner. Okay. Then what you'll notice is just all I'm doing is I'm putting like $1 per day behind this post. And you'll see I've reached 12,000 people with this post specifically. We've got 28 comments, 25 shares, and 1,200 engagements on this post alone. And so what I'm doing is we're going to get out of here in this case. We're going to go to our audiences. And we're going to go to a custom audience. Now you might be thinking, well, how do you target business owners based on that? There's two ways to do it. One, you can retarget the people who engaged with that post. And the way that you would do that is you would go to the meta sources here. So what I did is I went to custom audiences, and then I went to meta sources, and we were looking for, you can do this with Facebook or Instagram. The example I just showed you was Facebook. So I'm going to say Facebook page, and I'm going to select next. And then I'm going to select the page that we just looked at. And I want everybody who's engaged with my page. Okay. So anybody who's engaged with any post or ad, 365 days, all post engagement. Okay. Now, when I create this audience, okay, when we create that audience, I could retarget the ads to the people who engaged with that ad, right? Who are likely business owners. But the other thing that I can also do, so we kind of get a 2-for-1 here, is I can create a lookalike audience of people who are probably business owners because it's people who are engaging with those posts. So I'm doing several posts like that, getting people to engage with the post, and then I'm either remarketing the people who have engaged with that post because it's something that's only going to be appealing to business owners, and or using a lookalike audience of people who are engaging with those posts. So those are people who are probably going to be business owners. Okay, so that's an advanced strategy to use. The great thing about it, and why it's one that I included in this video, is that it's not susceptible to the iOS update. And the reason is because all of that data is being held on the Facebook ad platform. There's no data loss. Nobody is leaving Facebook for me to collect that data. And so this strategy is not impacted by the iOS update at all. So that's why it's a great strategy. Again, a little bit of an advanced strategy. I wouldn't necessarily start with this, but it's a really good way to basically harvest information about who you want to show ads to, specifically in this case, business owners. Okay, so that would be that is our fifth way in an advanced strategy to target business owners. And then finally, again, this one is one I can't see going away. But if you are targeting business owners, if you're, if you have a list currently of customers who are business owners or have leads who are business owners, then we can simply upload that customer list or lead list of people that we've gotten from ads or we've connected with who we know are business owners, and we can upload that audience to Facebook. And the way that we would do that is we would come over here. We would go to our custom audiences again. And in this case, we would go to customer list. Okay, go to next. And it's going to have you go through a lot of stuff here. Basically, what I'm typically doing when I use this strategy, a lot of people will try to find multiple main identifiers. I'm typically only selecting email. That's just because I want to get a pretty broad match. And so I'm not really worried about the zip codes or date of birth or app user IDs or any of that stuff. I'm really just taking my email list and I'm uploading that email list and using that as an audience that I can remarket to. So that's one strategy. It's going to have you go through these steps, but it's really easy to, you can either upload a CSV file. In most cases, again, when I'm doing this, all I'm doing is I'm like exporting my list from my CRM just with emails, and I'm grabbing all of the emails in the column, and I'm actually just coming in and pasting them in here. Okay. So once I do that, I name the audience, and then I can do two things with it. Again, I can, because this is a custom audience that I've uploaded, I can remarket my ads to. Some CRMs, you can connect directly, the list directly, like you can connect ActiveCampaign directly to Facebook and have the audiences made. That can be a little bit time consuming, but the good thing about that is it's basically dynamic. So as people are coming on to the list, then they're syncing back to Facebook and they're, it's updating that custom list. And then once we create that list, we can remarket to those people with ads. And we, again, because we know that list, we know that those are business owners. And then the other thing that we can do is once we've created that list, we can again take that list and make a lookalike audience from it if we want to target people who are likely to be business owners because of the fact that, the primary reason, the thing that they have in common from being on our list is that they're business owners, right? So those are 6 strategies that you can use to target business owners with Facebook ads. Those are 6 of the most common ways that we're currently doing it. Again, it's still a fantastic platform for targeting business owners, something that we use all the time. And if you're interested in, using this strategy and want to see more specifics or specific cases of, my business is trying to target business owners who are interested in XYZ. How would we do that? Go ahead and put a comment below this video. I'll also put a link in the description where if you'd like to, you can just connect with me and we can jump on a call together and I can answer any questions about, how to do this specifically for your business. But I'm happy to do that and happy to share, how exactly we go about targeting business owners on the Facebook and Instagram ad platforms. And those are 6 of the strategies that you can try to do it yourself. But if you have any questions, post comments below or schedule a call with me from the description below. Happy to jump on and answer any questions with you. So appreciate you taking the time with me today. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. And again, within the next few months here, we'll have a updated 2023 version of how to target business owners with Facebook ads in case there are any changes. So let me know if you have any questions. And if you haven't done so already, go ahead and subscribe. Looking forward to seeing you in the next video or hopefully connecting with you on a call. Talk to you later. Have a great day.